Hey, answer this question for me. What was the first Beatles song that was a truly classic ballad?
Oh, that's easy. No doubt about it. It's And I Love Her.
I think you are absolutely correct. And the interesting thing is, this is when they started pivoting to acoustical instruments.
Yes, because they started playing that song with electric guitars, and they figured out pretty quickly that wasn't working.
It's so strange to imagine that now, isn't it?
Yeah.
Because we have this image of the song as this warm, wooden, almost Latin masterpiece.
It feels like it was born that way.
Exactly, like it grew out of the ground.
Yeah.
But you're saying it started as a standard plugged-in rock track.
It did. And to really get it, you have to kind of put yourself in the room. It's February 1964, Abbey Road.
Right.
The energy is just frantic. I Want to Hold Your Hand has exploded everywhere. So they're the kings of the big beat. Right.
They walk in to record this new melody Paul has, and they do what they always do. They plug in.
Of course. Why would you fix what isn't broken? They're a rock and roll band. So describe that first attempt for me. The amps are humming.
Well, picture the standard lineup. You've got Ringo behind his full kick, drum, snare, the works.
A heavy backbeat.
A heavy driving backbeat. And then George Harrison, he's plugged in his Gretsch Country Gentleman.
Ah, the Gretsch. That's the sound. That's She Loves You.
That's the sound. It's that chime, that very distinct metallic jangle.
It cuts through everything.
Precisely. It's sharp, it's aggressive, and for 90% of their songs up to that point, that was the secret ingredient.
But not for this one.
And I Love Her. It was a train wreck. They start playing, and that electric sound just starts fighting the melody. It was clunky.
Aggressive almost.
So aggressive. It was just crushing the sentiment of the song.
It's like the song itself was rejecting the arrangement. That's a perfect way to put it. It was fighting back. They get through maybe 2 takes, and the mood just drops. They know it's bad.
The electricity was just drowning out the intimacy.
They were trying to shout a secret. It just wasn't landing.
And this is the moment, right? This is what separates them from everyone else in 1964.
Yeah.
Most bands would have just powered through.
For sure. They'd have said, this is our sound, turn it up.
But they didn't. They stopped.
They stopped dead. And it's a moment of, incredible artistic maturity. They realized their sound, that electric wall of noise, was the enemy here.
So they staged an intervention right there in Studio 2. They stripped the wires.
This is the pivot, the Woody epiphany.
And it's not just about turning down the volume, right? A quiet electric guitar is still an electric guitar.
Exactly. It's all about texture. So John Lennon puts down his Wickenbacker.
The rhythm growl.
Yeah. And he picks up a Gibson acoustic. Instantly, the whole rhythmic floor changes from a motor to a strum.
But the really radical shift was George.
Oh, absolutely. He
Yeah.
puts down the Gretsch.
And he picks up.
A Jose Ramirez nylon string classical guitar.
Which is just a massive left turn.
Yeah.
Think about the physics of that. We're used to steel strings in rock.
Right, they have that desolizing, that sustained, they're bright.
But nylon is different. Nylon is warm, it thuds.
It dies away quickly. It's dark, it's incredibly intimate. It sounds less like a pop record and more like a Spanish cafe at midnight.
It forces you to lean in.
It does. But then you have the Ringo problem. If everyone else is playing these delicate wooden instruments, you can't be sitting behind a massive drum kit.
You're a bull in a china shop.
And this is where Ringo's genius, which is so often undervalued, really shines. He didn't just play quieter, he physically abandoned the drum kit.
He just stood up and walked away from it.
He went to the corner of the studio, no kick drum, no snare, no cymbals. He picked up a pair of claves.
Just 2 wooden sticks.
That's it. And a set of bongos. That was his entire setup.
And that changes everything.
Instead of a boom-bat rock beat, you get this sharp wooden click of the claves and the soft patter from the bongos.
That's the bossa nova heartbeat.
That's it. It allows the melody to breathe. It transformed the song from a rock tune into this piece of, I call it wooden architecture.
I like that.
George Martin even said that specific arrangement changed the song from just serviceable to sublime.
It's amazing. But I want to zoom out for a second because the context here is so vital. I Want to Hold Your Hand was the explosion.
It was the screaming, the fainting, the total chaos.
Right. So if that was the explosion and I Love Her feels like the moment the smoke cleared, you have to remember the press at this time, they were sharpening their knives, waiting for the bubble to burst.
Are they just a flash in the pan? That was the question.
Are they musicians or just cute haircuts? And Paul McCartney was very aware of this. He was ambitious.
So ambitious. He wasn't just writing for the teeny boppers. He was looking at the Great American Songbook. He wanted to write a Gershwin standard.
Which is a staggering goal for a 21-year-old from Liverpool to say, I want to stand next to Cole Porter.
But that's who he was. And when this song came out in July '64 on a hard day's night, it proved he could do it.
It's a song of firsts.
Their first true major ballad, the first time they went purely acoustic, and the first time they used a key change not as a gimmick, but as an emotional tool.
It was their way of saying, we are serious composers.
Exactly. It answered the question of their longevity in under 3 minutes.
And speaking of proving themselves, Paul's vocal performance. When you strip everything away, there's nowhere for the singer to hide.
He is completely exposed, and it's a masterclass. I mean, if you listen to his earlier stuff, he's often shouting, doing that little Richard woo.
Right, the rock and roll voice.
He drops all of that here. It's so mature.
He doesn't sound 21.
He sounds like a man who has actually lived through the devotion he's singing about. The delivery is intimate. He never strains.
He feels like a confession, not a performance.
Beautifully put. And that intimacy sets the stage for the instrumental break. We have to talk about George's solo.
The song within the song.
It really is. Played on that nylon string classical guitar, and it's only 6 bars long.
But it's perfect. And this is 1964. The temptation to shred, to show off, it must have been huge. But he plays just a handful of notes.
Minimalist perfection. He isn't trying to impress you with speed. He's trying to break your heart with melody. It's like a call and response to the lyrics.
It's answering the questions in the song.
Paul sings about his love, and the guitar responds. It echoes the vocal melody, but with a little twist. Paul even said he thought the song was just okay until George wrote that solo.
He said it finished the song.
It did. It's the glue. But there's one more piece of genius here, the key change.
The most daring move.
Because usually in pop music, a key change is just a cheap trick.
Right, the truck driver's gear change.
No.
You just shift up a step for the last chorus to manufacture some excitement.
It's manipulation. But this is different. The modulation here goes from E major to F major. But look at where it happens.
It happens right at the solo and carries into that last verse.
It's not ramping up the energy for a big finish. It feels more like a revelation.
An opening up.
The song seems to be ending, and then suddenly the ground shifts. It lifts the sentiment to a higher plane. It changes "I love her now" to "I will love her forever."
It's almost spiritual.
It is. And for the record, this is a Lennon-McCartney credit, but John was very gracious. He wrote the middle 8.
A love like ours could never die.
Right. But he gave Paul full credit. He called it Paul's first yesterday.
That's high praise from John. And you can't talk about this song without the visuals, the movie, A Hard Day's Night.
An iconic piece of cinema.
And most of that film is just kinetic energy. Running, screaming, chaos.
But for this sequence, the brakes just slam on. The world stops.
Director Richard Lester creates this dark, moody space. But there's that one shot, the bloom.
Every film student studies it.
Describe it for us, because it looked like a complete accident.
It happens near the end, the camera's on Paul, and suddenly a stage light flares right into the lens, washes the whole screen out in this white glow.
It looks like the cameraman messed up.
But this is Richard Lester. It was meticulous choreography. He spent an entire afternoon just chasing that specific flare.
An afternoon. On a 2-second shot.
Because he wanted a visual equivalent to the key change we were just talking about. He wanted the light to look like an emotional response to the music.
So it feels like the screen itself is swooning?
It's the visual representation of falling in love. That level of detail shows that everyone knew this wasn't just another track. This was art.
Absolutely. So here we are, all these years later, and the song has been covered by everyone.
Everyone. Santo and Johnny, Esther Phillips.
And weirdly, Kurt Cobain.
Which surprises people. But if you listen to Kurt's home recording, it makes total sense. This song was the proof that a rock band could be soft without losing its edge.
That you don't have to be loud to be heavy.
That's the legacy. It gave permission to the Byrds, to folk rock, to generations of songwriters. It taught us that vulnerability is cool.
And honestly, if you played this for someone today who'd never heard the Beatles, they wouldn't guess 1964.
No. It exists outside of time. It could have been written last week. It just is.
It's funny, thinking back to that first failed electric version.
Yeah.
If they hadn't failed, if they just pushed through with a mediocre version, we never would have found the soul of the song. Maybe the failure was the most important part.
You have to strip away the noise to hear the music.
Well, thanks for joining us today. Whenever you feel like knowing more about the Beatles, visit us at BeatlesRewind.com. It's the Beatles, all day, every day, 8 days a week.
We'll do it again tomorrow, right?
You know it.
Can't wait. Goodbye, everyone.
Until next time, when you listen.
Your mind conducts its own symphony.